So I got a small order of woolen today. Probably small for some, but yeah, that's a lot of wool. That's like a good 15 pounds or so of wool. And I've been getting a lot of requests lately for more kits, for more fiber packs. And by more fiber packs, I just mean fiber packs because I have yet to do that. So I've got all this wool, I've got a ton of yarn on its way and some other exciting things. And unfortunately, of course, it's all in this time of very slow mail, so it's taking a little while, but it's been a lot of fun just starting to get the ball rolling on these things. I hope you're not hearing all the noises that I can hear in here. I have laundry going and it's right above this room. It's maybe not the best place to film, but oh well. So I've gotten a lot of requests on my river and mountain weavings of how I hang them and how I made that happen and the angled fringe and all the things. So I thought it was about time that we put together a course that takes you from start to finish on how to make one of those. I wanted to talk a little bit about copying because it's a very controversial, gray area kind of subject, and I know that it can be really touchy. It can be really scary for people to talk about, and I just wanted to touch on it briefly today. Now, I'm going to link in the description below 2 podcast episodes from Emily Jeffords. She has 2 really amazing podcast episodes on this topic, both copying other artists and when it happens to you when someone's copying your work. And I really encourage you to listen to those because they bring a lot of insight, and she talks about it with a lot of grace. Because in reality, most of the time, most of the people who are copying you, if they are not doing it with ill intentions. They just saw something really beautiful and they wanted to make themselves, and they don't necessarily see the issue with that. And don't get me wrong here, all these things I'm teaching you on the YouTube channel are so that you can copy them. I am freely giving them to you and teaching you how to do them for the sole purpose of learning. But the reality is, not every artist is teaching. Some artists have specific ways they do things that they want to keep to themselves, that makes their work original and really stand out. And that's what my tree weavings have been for me. Now I'm at a place where I'm constantly coming up with new ideas, and I don't necessarily want to make the same thing multiple times. So I decided this was a really great time to teach those weavings. But for a long time, I wanted that to be mine. It was part of my brand. It was part of my heart and soul. But now I feel like I'm at a place where I am willing to share that knowledge and willing to teach you guys how to do that. So that's what the difference is. It's when an artist is freely giving you and teaching you how to do their art versus them making art and putting it on the internet and someone else just grabbing it and copying it. Now, I have been both copied, and I am sad to say that I have copied too. And that's why I think I want to approach this in a way that is like, I understand that you may just not know that copying other artists is like not kind. And because when I was first starting to learn, there was really only a couple of weavers that I even knew of who were making woven wall hangings. So it was the only reference point I had. And so inevitably, because I was staring at their work all the time, I was making work like very, very similar to theirs. And I do regret that now. However, I was also learning. I would just encourage you that if you are going to copy somebody else's work, don't put it online, don't sell it, don't do any of those things. Keep it to yourself. If you're gonna do that as a way to learn, keep it to yourself. This is another reason why I constantly am telling you guys, you do you. I'm showing you all these different techniques and these different projects, but I always want to encourage you to use your own creativity as well. If you want to copy exactly what I'm doing in the projects that I'm freely giving you here on YouTube, by all means do that. It's a great way to practice, especially when you're just learning the actual craft and motion of weaving. It is a nice way to start. Oh man, that's loud. This was a bad location. I think we're gonna move now. As I always say, you guys, you do you. you have an original story to tell. You don't need somebody else's story or work to make you a good artist. You're already a good artist because you are you. That is what makes you stand out, not copying other people who are getting attention for their original work. You stand out by being truly original and by being yourself and leaning into that. So anyway, back to the weaving course, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun and I've really spent a lot of time. I've made these pieces multiple times and I've come up with a really great way to do them, which is why I'm really excited to share that with you. So if you want to stay in the loop for that, make sure you sign up for my email list at spruceandlinen.com. The website isn't officially open yet because I mostly work off Etsy. There is a new site coming eventually, but there is a little box on the landing page there that you can throw your email address in and you will get the diamond twill pattern and you will get updates on things like this, and as well as the fiber packs that I'm going to be putting together. So it's just a good way to stay in the loop. It's not spammy. I'm giving you information that you're going to want to have. Oh, you guys, I forgot to tell you something here. I have to show you that once again, I'm changing up this weaving. Ignore my mess if you can see it. I think I avoided it. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep updating you on this one. And you're probably like wondering why this is taking so long. And it's because it is a project that I just decided I was going to do. It's not for anyone specific. Let's brighten this up. This way. I guess that's as good as we can do. So, like I said, hang on a sec. This isn't a specific project for a customer. This is something I felt like making, and so I'm making it. And I wanted to tell you another change that I'm making, just to talk a little bit again about balance, because we are going to go more into depth on the channel about design and color and that kind of thing, but that's just going to take me a little bit of time to, I guess, just find the right way to talk about it. But I still haven't put the brown in here like I said I was going to, but I'm going to do that. And the other thing I realized was there's a color of yarn in here that I didn't end up using throughout the weaving, and so now I'm going to be taking it out because it no longer looks that great. I'm going to use this dark color instead, again bringing that dark in and adding the balance. And so the rest of the strands are going to stay, but I'm literally taking each one out and adding one of these in because I'm picky and because this is exactly what this weaving was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a new design, experimenting, trying things out, and it's not a rush. This is kind of one of the more hobby type projects I have on the go. It will be for sale when it's done, but I'm allowing myself to just take the time. And if you have time, it's a great idea to do that and just really, as I always say, fight for it to be what you want it to be. Don't just like let it be mediocre and throw up your hands and say, I'm done, because you're always gonna wish that you went back while you could to get it right. And that's another thing I'm gonna keep reiterating, you guys, that the creative process is an emotional roller coaster, kind of like life in general, where you have really high points and you have really low points, and then you have all the in-between stuff, and then at the end, hopefully you're very excited for everything that your piece became. So yeah, don't feel weird or alone or sad that you get frustrated in the art making process, because I think for a long time, at least I did, I had this vision of what the process is and what it's like, and I always just have this picture in my mind of this peaceful process, and it just flows so perfectly and everything just goes right, and it's just like, no, that's not reality. Like maybe if you're making something you've already made before, it can go that way, but for the most part, when you're trying to do something new and innovate, like you're gonna have you're gonna have some trial and error, and I'm all about it because that's how you learn. The reason this whole subject came up too is because someone on Instagram was asking me about copying, and she was getting copied and she was feeling really upset about it, and I totally understand that. And she was looking for some support, and she was actually feeling a little bit selfish that she wanted her original work to be hers and her product. You don't need to feel selfish about that. Do you think Nike is off feeling selfish that that check mark is theirs and theirs alone, and that they will go sue people who try to like recreate it? No! Guys, your original work is your intellectual property, and you have a right to protect that if you want to. So don't be afraid to protect that if that's where you're at. But at the same time, if you are willing to share it, then that's also your choice, and you can change your mind at some point, like I have. This is why I'm building this course, and why I'm going to teach you the right way to make these weavings, so it's not just a copycat version of it. It's going to be the real thing, and it's going to be awesome. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. And yeah, go make original work, you guys. Of course, follow all these projects and tag me on Instagram. You can also use our hashtag SL Weaving Club when you use our tutorials and when you just want to show me what you've learned from the YouTube channel. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.